Welcome to Roxtalks, the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. I'm Roxanne Wilson, and it's really time for us to have another one of those real talks. If you can tell my pun, I am talking about Reels. Lots of things have been changing since the last time we spoke about Reels, and I thought we'd dive in today and give you the state of Reels update and how it can, as it continues to and can grow your business. So we will be right back. It's shocking to me, I'll admit. But a concept that I guess as network marketers we're still having issues with is who is our target market. I know if you're like me, when you started network marketing, you were told that your target market was everyone with scanner, everyone with fill in the blank, and it felt really refreshing. But do you know that that's one of the biggest reasons you're having problems with your business in general and business especially on social media? The fact that you're reaching out and trying to get anyone with a pulse or anyone who's breathing, that's the same thing, I guess, to join you in business. It's just not realistic, and it actually muddies the waters when it comes to you getting a correct message out into the market on social media. The stat is like somewhere between 84 and 94% of women feel like advertisers don't even know them. They are not identifying with them in any way. Well, you are an advertiser, aren't you? And if you can hone and get really clear on who you're speaking to and make sure you're speaking directly to her, just imagine what that can do for your business, what it can do for your growth. That's why I have decided because I believe in being part of the solution, not the problem. All month long, we're going to be having Target Market Tuesdays. I want to help you get really nitty gritty on how to define your target market. It can sound overwhelming. So we're going to take it 1 week at a time and really dive into it. Join me on Tuesdays. It's all happening inside of the free Facebook group, Social Media for Network Marketers. Link, if you're watching, is right there below, or you can go ahead and get it in the show notes. But we'd love to see you there. Every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be giving you little nuggets on how to get clear on your target market. And yes, there will be a replay inside of the group. So I can't wait to see you there for Target Market Tuesdays. Oh, Reels. I have to say, watching Reels grow has been kind of exciting. Reels first came to pass officially for the masses last August. And, it's been a little bit of a slow adopter initially and has picked up pace. We all know this. I know you know this. You hear me say this all the time. You want to think of Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, as a jealous lover. He's really clear on the fact that he wants to be the best and the only really when it comes to social media. So everything that he does is a reflection of that. Reels came from TikTok. It was the answer to TikTok. Too many of you were going over to TikTok, or us were going over to TikTok. And so he decided to basically take what TikTok is, recreate it, and put it on the Instagram platform. And it has really been taking off, hasn't it? In a big way. Now, you might be rolling your eyes right now. I know what you're thinking. You're tired of seeing the dancing unless you love to dance. You're tired of seeing the pointing unless you love to point. And you're not really clear on what you're supposed to be doing. But you're hearing, oh my gosh, you've got to be doing Reels. If you want to grow your business on social media, you have to be doing Reels. Are you doing Reels? Are you doing Reels? Some of you might be on Facebook going, I have to do Reels. I'm not even on Instagram. So I thought today we'd break down what's going on with Reels, what you do if you are on Instagram need to be doing, and how we can really hone in on it for you, the network marketer. And notice what I just said there. What you do need to be doing for Reels if you're on Instagram. Listen, if you're a Facebooker and you're like, I'm Facebook for life, that is awesome. I don't want you to get mired down in the squirrel. I hear it all the time. I have members who say, but Roxanne, I think I really want to do Reels. I'm like, you're not even on Instagram. I know, but Reels, I want to grow my followers, all these things. And so I always say, and I'm saying it to you too, let's take a pause, okay? Unless you really have this desire to then go and learn Instagram right now, please don't think you need to hop on the Reels wagon just because Reels is hot. There's always going to be something hot. You know this. There's always going to be something hot. And if this hot thing doesn't fit your fantasy, as Cody Rigsby would say, then don't worry about it. So let me first say, okay, first of all, I'm giving you permission. If this is not your thing, you don't even have to listen to the rest of the podcast. Well, you should still listen. But if it's not your thing, share it with someone it is. Okay, do that. But yeah, listen to it anyway. I'm going to get a good strategy here. The second thing is this. And this is another unpopular opinion by Roxanne Wilson. Y'all, we have to think about when we think about the Instagram platform, we have to really think about what the purpose of all the things are. Okay. So when you think about Instagram, of course, we all have our like our storefront, as you know, I like to call it. That's your bio. That's the first thing people see. But then there's always these gadgets and whistles, right? We have stories, which just to remind you is stolen Snapchat. We have Instagram Lives, IGTV. We have Instagram Lives and IGTV, right? And then we have our posts with carousels and video and whatnot. And I will just mention the whole point of IGTV and IG Live is to copy YouTube. Just so you're like, oh, he really does. Yeah, he really does take or copy. That's his thing. Okay, so here's the thing. They each have a different purpose. They really do. And Instagram came out recently and spoke to in two ways. First of all, they came out recently and spoke to tippy top influencers and said, if you want to keep growing on this platform, this is like the balanced diet, I'll call it, for what you should be doing, posting all the things. Now, the diet they gave is not the diet for you and I. Okay. I'm going to disclaim that. That is not what you should be doing. You and I are not influencers, but it does give us it gives us a glimpse into what they're valuing and weighing. Why do I say it's not what you should be doing? Because the things that they said were outrageous in number and quantity. I'll give you one example. In order to grow your following on Instagram, remember these are people who make Instagram is what they do. They said you should be doing I'm sorry. I always have to take pause because it's like major. You should be doing 4 to 7 reels every single week. 4 to 7 reels. In addition to that, 3 to 4 posts on your actual grid. In addition to that, you should be doing stories. Let me get this right. Stories. It was like 4 to 6 times a week, making sure that you do at least 10 of them when you do that. Okay. And then there was a number of 3 to 4 IG lives. And I think I'm forgetting something, and 3 to 4 IGTVs. Okay. Like I said, this is not for us. This is not for us, but it does give us a glimpse into things. Okay. So know that first and foremost. Now, what I do take from that, one thing I think is important is they are putting a lot of emphasis on reels if you want to grow your followers. Now, I feel like we have to do a timeout here for a second and get serious about something that we may actually take a whole episode and talk about for a moment, but we have to remember something. When you're looking at your business, when you're looking at what's going on in your business, I want you to step away from social media for a moment and ask yourself, where is it that I would like or need growth? Am I having issues with my growth when it comes to do I have all these people in my funnel, but I just don't know how to convert them? Is it I don't have anyone in my funnel? Or is it I have these people in my funnel, but I just really haven't been engaging with them? Those are 3 different things, and they require 3 different solutions. So, for example, if you're like, I have all these people in my funnel, we're engaging, I just don't know how to convert them, then Instagram Reels is not where you need to be. That shouldn't be your main focus, right? Because Instagram Reels is not going to convert someone from engaging with you to buying from you. That's not how that works. Okay, you picking up what I'm putting down? If you're saying to yourself, I have people in my funnel, they're there, but I haven't done anything to engage them, Instagram Reels is not what you should be focusing on right now. If it's engagement, then you need to be focusing on stories and different ways to engage them for your social media, that is, and different ways to engage with. You need to actually be talking to them, sliding into their DMs. That's what you need to be doing there. And other things that we teach in social stories as well, too, like virtual experiences in the whole 9 yards. That's what you need to be focusing on. If you're saying, you know what, my audience is tapped out. They've decided they're in, they're out. They're either on my team, they're my clients, or they're not at all and they don't want any part of it. I need new people. I need more people. Now, then Reels is something for you. Now, we all could always say, hey, we need more people. But you and I both know that we have to take a step back and really look at your list, look at your funnel, look at what's there, and then determine where is the issue with me getting to my goals. If it's I have not actually had a conversation with them, or gotten them off of social media to have that conversation, then that's a different thing than Reels. Okay, so now, if you've determined that Reels is what you need because you really need more people, then we talk about Reels. And the reason I tell you this is because I don't want you to get it twisted. Doing one reel is going to take you some time. I did a reel recently. You have to check it out on Roxtalks on Instagram, where it was a a song I did, right? So it was not, I didn't personally sing it, but it was the Lizzo song, the I wear my hair back, check my nails, baby, how you doing, feeling? And instead of good as hell, it says overwhelmed. And the caption I put on is like, when you commit to doing reels, and then when you actually do a reel, you're like totally overwhelmed. Reels take time. And what's interesting is I post that and people are like, oh my gosh, yes, because reels take time. Reels can cause overwhelm. You're like, why are you telling me that? Why? I'm giving you the honest truth. So, when you see a reel and someone is like doing a dance routine with their kids or their moms or whomever, they not only had to take time to learn the dang dance, then once they have the dang dance learned, then they actually have to make sure the camera's right, the music is set up right, they're in the shot. And then once they like that, then they've got to put all these bells and gadgets and whistles on it, do a caption, and then post it. That takes time. Never underestimate the time people take to put in to make a great reel. It takes time. When you see someone have that whole like, ooh, here's some brush, and then I'm magicking another outfit or another outfit, those take time. Now, I'm not saying you have to be one of those creators that jumps up in the air and then he changes his clothes and is like, oh my gosh, how they do that. But even the most basic reel basically takes some time, okay? And so when you hear that to grow your frequency of reels needs to be 4 to 7 a week, if you're just doing that, that could take you 7, 8, 9, 10, sometimes a whole day. I'm not even kidding. Okay. So you think about that and you think about all the other things in life, not only the other parts of your business, your income producing activity, and all the things, if you want to call it that, but also just life. I'm assuming you have a family. Like in family is however you want to describe it, but you have things to do. And if nothing else, you have Bridgerton to rewatch. And so as a result, like we have to find ways to make this make sense. Make this make sense for me, Roxanne. I'm making it make sense for you. So first and foremost, let's pretend you're like, okay, reels is where I need to be, where I am. Okay, awesome. First and foremost, stop thinking you have to do reels like everybody else. One of the biggest issues I see with network marketers is that they were like, oh my gosh, I have to do reel and everyone's dancing. So now I have to learn the dance. Now I have to learn how to twerk, and I'm walking away. Walk forward. You've seen that one, and then boom, 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 and they walk back. What? I'm just curious. Or oh my gosh, I have a dog. I'm gonna do a dog. I'm gonna do the say your dog's name and then record it in slow-mo. That's one that's going around. Okay. Are you in a direct selling company that sells dog food? Dog collagen. So I guess if you're with Modera, that would make sense. And there are some dog companies as well. But otherwise, what did you benefit? I'm just curious. When you look back, when you audit, and your posts, your things you put out there, you got to ask yourself, what did showing my dog respond to me calling her name in slow-mo actually do to bring people to me that are likely to want to pick up what I'm putting down? Because this is where, and I'm telling you, we're probably going to do a whole episode on vanity numbers. This is where the vanity numbers get ridiculous. You're like, oh my gosh, I posted my dog. I got 4,000 views or 10,000 views or 1,000 views, whatever number is important to you. And you're so excited because you got all these views on your reel. Well, let's really get real here. If those were all people who love dogs, but cannot stand skincare or can't stand supplements, can't stand nail strips, then you spent a lot of time getting your dog to do what you want to do in slow-mo, figuring out how to use the slow-mo camera for nothing or for very little. What would it look like if you did a reel that actually pertained in some way to the avatar, the target market that you've chosen, things that she values, because that's who you're looking for to join you in business or to buy your product? We have to be strategic, and it's so hard not to get all like swept up in the romanticism of, I've got a lot of people who watched my reel and think, wait, I would prefer to get fewer people, but people who actually are interested in what I have to offer. Can you make money off of a reel? Absolutely. In fact, I did a reel a few days ago, posted it, and within 10 minutes, I was getting orders. It happens. Yes. But don't let me fool you. I wouldn't walk around going, hey, look what I did, because I know why that happened. It happened because I made sure that my reel had something to do with my brand and what I offer. But also, those are people who've been watching me, who are picking up what I'm putting down. And when it was something that they were looking for, they're like, yes, I'm there. I'll take it. You can definitely do reels that have humor that sell. I mean, mine was humorous and it sold. That's awesome. But I'm strategic about the reels that I'm doing. I'm less concerned about the amount of viewers and more concerned about, is it reaching my target market, my people? Okay. So when you think about your reel strategy, I want you to really get clear on that, because here's what's great about it. Instagram will show it to people who are interested. They want your reel to go to people who care. They do. They really do. So they're going to show it. If your reel is something that's dog related, they'll show it to all the dog people. Yes. But if you're doing a reel that regards the type of person you're looking for, it will go to them. And yes, there's so much benefits right now to using reels. Even with reels being about a year old, it's still very, very new. Don't ever think that something that's that young is old. It's not. It's very new, and they're putting a lot of emphasis on it. One of the things that they're working on right now is rolling out advertisements for reels. Now, while that may not directly affect you, the fact that they're doing that just shows they want more viewership and they're seeing the benefit. If they're willing to allow people to advertise and have sponsored reels, you know that reels are really here to stay. So your question really, if reels is what you are looking for to grow right now, is how can you do that in a palatable way, and then in a way where it doesn't take too much time. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but last month, or was that last month? Last month from recording it, I released some reels templates. I want to tell you a little bit about that. So I released Reels templates, a kit of 7 Reels templates that were totally customizable, where you could really create a reel within like 5-10 minutes or less. Some people are like, they got it done in 5 minutes. I'm like, awesome. You could fill in the information. There were prompts that helped you to make a reel that actually had something to do with your business, that had something to do with your brand or your business, right? Your brand is in your personal brand or your business, and things that people who eventually want to buy your product or join your business would be interested in, allowing you to do those reels quickly, so that if you are looking to do 4 to 7 reels a week, you can pop out and use some of those templates. And then for the other ones, take time to do one where you're using popular music, or you're doing something more original. They're totally customizable reels. And I did a beta launch of that a month ago, or last month. And what's been so exciting is the people who got the templates have been using them and seeing great viewership numbers, which is how you start, right? And insights because you can now, with Reels, one of the things Reels has added is, before you could just see the views. Now, if you dig a little deeper, you click the little button on the right-hand corner with the 3 dots, you can actually see more. You can see who saved it. You can see who's watched it. And another great thing, saving is important, as we've talked about before. Saves are important when it comes to, and shares when it comes to Instagram. And so you can get a better feel for what people are engaged in and what they're liking as well. Anyhow, so I say that to say that the templates are going very well. But what I wanted to do, now that Reels is really getting flavor, and now that I'm seeing so many people spend so much time on Reels that are not actually attracting their target market, I went back to the drawing board. I've been doing a lot of Reels work, a lot of Reels research work, you name it, all those things. And I created a new 5-day Reels challenge. Now, in the past, we did a Reels challenge right when it came out. It was longer than 5 days and it was pretty intensive. This one is up to date, which I like that, right? Don't you? Up to date circa now, and is all done in 5 days. I'd love for you and to join us. It actually starts July 12th is the date that it's going to start. And we're going to do it for 5 days. And you're going to learn the nuances of how to do Reels. You're also going to learn, which is the kicker, how to do the Reels that are now trending, the ones that that Instagram gets really excited that you do, how to do the different features that are trending and actually will help you build your business. I was very particular and specific about the ones that I'm going to show you how to do over the course of those 5 days, because I want them to be ones that are really going to help you, not just, okay, well, I learned how to dance upside down. So glad I learned that feature. Has nothing to do with my network marketing business or anything that I stand for. This is really targeted because I want that time that you're going to be spending on being creative and creating these Reels to actually help your bottom line, to actually help your bottom dollar. So if you are interested, and if you would like to join, we kick it off on Monday, again, July 12th. I highly encourage you to go to socialstoriesmembership.com/reels. And you can be part of the Reels challenge. It's going to be a doozy. So many great things coming that way. Yeah. So good. One other thing I want to say about Reels, maybe it's some other things, they come up, is this. Reels is coming out with, and they're beta launching the 60 seconds, which we knew was going to happen because TikTok allows 60 seconds. And up until about now, and by the time you listen to this, it may already be rolled out for you. They were 30 seconds long. Now they're 60 seconds. Here's another trap we fall into. Wow, I can do a reel for 60 seconds. So now I'm going to take a full minute and do my reel. Stop, halt, don't. Okay. We have to be strategic. What I mean by that is this. If you can say what you're going to say in 30 seconds, say in 30 seconds, because the period of time it takes, of course, if with anything, if you lose people's attention and they drop off and maybe the big thing you wanted to say or your call to action at the end, you might not even see it. So if you can get it tight and right in 30 seconds, go with that. Don't feel like just because they give you more time, you need to take more time. I know we are a more is more society, but that's an important thing to try and remember as well with that too. I'm not saying that dancing is bad. I like to dance. And you might even find me dancing at some point. I kind of dance someone, not really. I just kind of like shook around, but I'm not opposed to dancing. So I want everyone to know that. I'm not even opposed to pointing. I just want you to, because you're a CEO and as a CEO, to really think about the reels you're creating and really make sure that they have something to do with your overarching brand. If your brand is dancing and pointing, then you better dance and point with the best of them. But if it's not, don't feel like you have to get on the bandwagon and do what everyone else is doing. You're doing reels. That's being part of the crowd. That now niche it and make it specific and unique to you, who you are and what serves you and your brand. Make sense? This is meant to empower you and not to make you feel like you have to do it the way that everyone else did it. It's the creativity that makes it great. That also means if you don't have humor, if you're not funny, you're like, I'm not a funny person, don't feel like you have to be funny on reels. It's going to look weird and clunky. You might as well not even do it. You want to make sure that you're being yourself when you do reels. It's an interesting phenomenon, these reels. I mean, listen, Instagram's loving it because you're taking a lot of time making them and you're making them on their platform and we're taking a lot of time watching them. So they're like, yes, score. However, that's fine. We're good with that. We're just going to make it something that actually benefits us, that you can see the value from it. Again, if you would like to join the 5-day Instagram Reels challenge, I encourage you. It's going to be, you're going to be like, I am a pro now. And you're going to be able to really sink your teeth into it and to know that when you're making reels, they're making a difference to getting more people in. They're going to show, and remember this as well too. This is one more thing, and then I'll leave the reels alone. This is a big thing though. We hear reels are popular. And so we go, I need to learn how to do reels. And yet we didn't take time to actually make sure that our house is in order. If you've come to any of my live master classes, or if you're a Social Stories member, you know that I teach the Social Stories Success Blueprint. And part of that blueprint is taking you through the steps on how to build out your Instagram or your Facebook. And I'm very particular. In fact, when you join, you have to go step by step. Why? Because overwhelm's the thing, but also because it is so important to take it step by step. We see and hear reels, oh, this is a thing, but have you ever been to like a restaurant? I used to do radio for Heart Radio. And so I did a morning show. So we were invited to like events and new restaurants and all the things. And when I did TV, got invited to a lot of stuff. I would go to openings of restaurants and I'd be like, oh, Delali, I don't ever want to go back. Because they weren't ready for it, right? Because they invited all these people into their restaurant and yet the food was cold. It came out at the wrong time. The drinks were melting. Like it wasn't right. They weren't ready. Okay. If you're going to have a grand opening, and think about reels as a grand opening, because you do a reel and Instagram's like, all right, I'll show this to people who aren't following you. It's like grand opening. I exist. I'm here. Awesome sauce. But for the fact that if you're not ready, if your bio, if your storefront, as I call it, right, on Instagram is one that would turn someone away, that fails my 5-second rule, they look at you for 5 seconds, like, oh, she's going to try and sell me or harangue me, I'm out. Then you've just brought all these people in and the back door was wide open and they walked right out or they turned right around. If you have not taken time to really tighten your posts, to make sure your content that they're seeing on that grid is tight and right, and is something that speaks directly to your target market, guess what? They're going to turn around and they're going to leave. So don't try and skip to the reels part of the line, because you may not be there yet. Take a moment and take a step back and say, do I need to work on my storefront, my bio? Do I need to work on my captions, my content, which of course I call the sales for? You might need to work on those first, and that's okay. Reels will be there when you're ready, but the worst thing you could do is invite people into the house and you have no food for them. Yeah, you come for dinner. Oh, I didn't actually make anything. Don't do it. Resist temptation. All right. We're gonna roll right in. Well, we'll be right back. Right back. Okay, so you're really ready, and Reels is where you want to be. Or maybe you're there, but you're like, gosh, I could button this up and make this better. Well, I want to personally invite you to join me for the new Reels 5-day challenge for network marketers. Oh yes, it's for you specifically. In these 5 days, you're going to get the tools you need and actually get into action on creating Reels using the big features that Instagram loves, but in a way that actually attracts your target market, people who you want to join you in business and to buy your product. I can't wait to see you there. It kicks off on July 12th, and you do not want to miss it. You should probably invite your upline, downline, and all around lines to join us as well too. For more information, simply go to socialstoriesmembership.com/reels. We'll see you then. It's time for a little behind the scenes. So as we're recording this, it is the 24th of June. I look at my watch, and I have not recorded a podcast in 2 months. Is that right? 2 months. Wild. But as you know, last month it was a great time. We got to celebrate. We had the anniversary of Social Stories, and we got to celebrate Social Stories members. And I did all that before I went on my trip. And so I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in forever. Since then, what I've been up to? Well, I just finished a 3-day mastermind that I'm a member of. For memberships. It's something that I have been a part of now for almost a year with Stu McLaren. And it was, it's funny when you start a mastermind and you invest in a program of any kind. At first, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a fish out of water. Do I belong here? And it was so good to go. This is the second like a virtual 3-day event. He's based in Canada. We can't go there yet. It was so great to just learn from each other, give each other tidbits and moments of inspiration, and really get clear on where I'm going and where everyone's going for their memberships as we go forward. So I'm so like, what a perfect way to end the second anniversary of Social Stories to be doing that. That being said, I literally walked away with, not even kidding, I'm looking down at them, 13 different things that I'm implementing, takeaways that I'm implementing or making happen. I already started. Super excited about that. And let me just say that if you weren't planning on listening to next week's podcast, you should probably listen to next week's podcast, because there's a surprise in there, a big, huge announcement, which you'll be one of the first to hear when you listen to next week's podcast. It's big. It's exciting, and I can't wait to share it with you. So it's going to be really exciting, and you'll know it was birthed from my mastermind. So stay tuned for that. And besides that, what's going on? Oh, well, I'm from Arizona, and so I'm enjoying. I don't watch basketball. Like, I love sports. It's funny. Megan Summerall was like, you and I don't have that in common, because she's like, I don't like basketball. I love sports. I've grown up enjoying and loving sports. That's the thing. Olympics countdown is coming down. Basketball is not something that I watch. I don't watch the NBA regularly. I'll tell you right now, you want to call me bandwagon, that's fine. But if you ask me, who's your team? What team are you rooting for in the NBA? I've always said the Suns, because I remember back in the day, it was Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson and Dan Marley and Tom Chambers. And I remember watching their games. I had a crush on Charles Barkley, true story, growing up. And he was probably my second crush. Michael J. Fox was first. But then the next one I remember is really Charles Barkley. And we lost several times to, teams like the Bulls with Michael Jordan. It never happened. But that's like when I think about basketball, that's what I think about when I think about the NBA. And so it's been exciting just because there's not a lot going on, not a lot to watch in the summer to watch like I was like, oh, let's watch it. The Suns are playing and then we keep winning and it's amazing. So by the time this is over, by the time you listen to this, we may or may not be in the finals. I'm not sure, but I have to tell you, I've really been enjoying watching the games. And even more so when they're on TNT with Charles Barkley and that whole crew. It's like Ernie and Kenny and Shaq. They're hilarious. Like if you watch nothing else, you should watch, I guess it's the NBA on TNT, whatever show they have. Hilarious, so fun. And then of course you can hop on Twitter and people are always trolling them and they show the trolling, the people making fun of them on air. So I've been enjoying that. It's a little random, but it's been fun to watch basketball. I also watch, of course, March Madness. It's something that I've always watched as well too. I love sports. So I don't necessarily watch a whole season of them, but man, I do love sports and I have my team. So that's been a lot of fun. Other than that, we're just enjoying the weather. I'm in Southern California. The weather's always the same. Everyone's like overheated and hot, and weather's pretty much the same here, but we are able to get out a lot more. And so that is a blessing, or a lot more, I should say. So that's awesome. That's what I got for you. I do want to thank everyone who came to one of the live master classes that I offered. Did 11 of them last month. I've done 9 so far. I have 2 more next week, and then it'll be the end of that. But it's been so fantastic to have an opportunity to just share more about how to really work your business on social media. You guys listen to the podcast or you watch it, so you already know. But for those who came, or if you did come, thank you for being there. It just was really good to be able to answer questions and to just give people aha moments and hear concepts they never heard of. Because I know that as we do that more and more, the way we go about how we market and how we interact with people on social media is only going to get better, which is going to help the entire industry. So I'm so thankful for that, and so thankful for everyone in the Social Stories community. You guys are amazing, and I'm blessed to get to work with you. So of course, as you're listening to this, welcoming in a whole new class of Social Stories members and getting them acclimated, and that's always very exciting, just life-giving. So, all right, that is all I have for you. Except that I want you to know you're not ahead, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be. And that is a good thing. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching or listening to the Roxtalks podcast. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Would love for you to do that. And if you have not reviewed the podcast, if you want to take a moment and do that as well too, we'd really appreciate it. I will see you next week, or talk to you next week for another episode of Roxtalks. Big surprise next week, don't forget.